This was property had a squatter there. He'd been living there, and we got the writ of possession, which is the court order to take over the property. And the next day, it caught fire. Incidents, I mean, who knows? But we had luckily fire department got there, put the fire out right away. But now we have to assess it, see what kind of damage it has, and kind of go from there.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Denise, Madan, and Joel Freis, who is a licensed real estate agent team based out of South Florida, but doing deals in a lot of other places too. So we're going to get into their background and kind of how they got into the business. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. We're happy to be here.
Wonderful.
Appreciate it.
Well, I'm curious how both of you guys started your journey into real estate.
Joel, you want to start? Well, I always let Joel start first.
So we were both working at a RE/MAX office, and Denise was more luxury type of agent. And then my background was doing bank-owned properties, foreclosures. And the market started to shift a little bit, and the broker suggested, you two would get along great. And I think Denise trying to get an REO. Why don't you see if you can collaborate? And we did. And she had a hedge fund company she was working with that I think we had to do 350 BPOs, which is a broker price opinion, in a matter of 3 days. And that kind of started the journey. And I think that happened. Unfortunately, they didn't win that bid. And there was 3 other times we had to do it. They finally got the third, and our partnership just took off from that. And with the REO market changing and as, dwindled down over the last 5 years, we've gotten back more into the retail side and investment.
Amazing. And what makes you guys work so well together?
I think we trust each other. It's where a lot of partnerships fall short is one thinks, oh, you're outworking me or I'm outworking you, and you're not carrying your load. We both know, hey, this week you might end up doing more than me, or I might do more than you. And at the end of the day, it all equals out. And you can't nitpick over little things. You just got to have faith that each one's going to deliver their part and be honest with each other and just keep moving forward.
Definitely. And I feel like that trust probably has built over time with so many deals under your belt.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, it does. It does. Sometimes people think that we're married, even though I'm much older than Joel, but they think we're married because it's a really good mesh. I mean, we complement each other, and he can answer my sentence, or I can just say to him, and he does to me, what about that listing? And immediately one of us will know exactly what listing. And, we've sold so many properties, but we're just so in tune. And I think that's what gives us the strength that we have.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think that it's really difficult to find people that you work so well with. And to find somebody, it seems like it happened very serendipitously. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's worked out well. It's been a benefit to both of us, and, can't be happier.
Yeah. So you were originally with REO, or you were doing REO properties. Can you tell us just a little bit more about that and how you built that business up?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, definitely. REOs is real estate owned. For anybody that doesn't know, it's bank foreclosures. And 2007, 2008, market crashed, and there's opportunity. You either start doing short sales or you start doing, bank owned properties, or you got out of the business. I was fortunate enough to get in with a few banks, asset managers, and did a lot of broker price opinions to kind of get my foot in the door. And it just kind of took off from there.
Amazing. And then what about you, Denise? How did you kind of get into that world? Through Joel, it sounds.
Well, I was.
No,
thank
Denise actually
goodness.
got in on her own.
Okay.
It was sort of like by accident. Thank goodness I was really doing retail, like Joel mentioned. So I was just trucking along, enjoying it, but really loving the business. And I had a client that was trying to buy a foreclosure property, and they really wanted it. And one day the asset manager called and said, "Hey, I can't find my agent. Can you help me?" And I'm like, "Sure, of course. My client really wants the house." He goes, "Okay, so we're going to do cash for keys with this client." I go, "Sure, great, no problem." And like a few seconds later, I'm like, "What is cash for keys?" I had no idea what that meant. That one property, I learned so much. He had me doing so much, but he was with another company. He just told people, "Hey, I found a really good agent. You can rely on her." And one day he calls and says, "Hey, I'm going to a new company. If they like you." I think Joel and I at that point just might have started to dabble, trying to work a partnership out, but we hadn't really done anything until he said, "If they like you, you'll have a lot of business." So 5 years went by, they really liked us, and we had a lot of business.
Wow, that's amazing. And, you're kind of growing through the South Florida market, but you're also expanding into some other, I know you're expanding into Georgia as well. Tell us about the Florida market and what makes it so special.
Joel?
So, with the Florida market, I mean, this is where we've been, me, my whole life. Denise, probably, her whole adult life. And like I said, Denise is originally doing high-end properties in South Florida. There's an area called Pinecrest, and kind of managed that. So it's very high-end. She actually sold Dwayne Wade's house when they got divorced. She was third time's a charm, right? So the courts appointed her as the agent and got it sold. But, Miami's in South Florida is a vibrant area. Especially the last 5 years since, COVID, so many hedge fund companies have moved down this way. There's been a lot of money coming into the area. Like most of the country right now, we are starting to see a correction of the market, seeing longer days on the market for properties. It's just ebb and flow of the business. It's just part of the business. But even on a downward market, Miami's still, it's who doesn't want to live in Miami, right? It's sun, beaches, great weather.
Yeah.
So it's just staying busy.
And it's still affordable. I mean, for most people in other parts of the country, for people that live here, it's become very expensive. But for people in other parts of the country, it's very affordable. And I think Joel and I are blessed. Because we did so much foreclosure business, we have people calling us always. "Hey, do you have any properties?" People love to fix and flip. So we're a little bit unusual in that way. Usually if you're a residential realtor, people don't call you for fix and flips because usually they're a lot lower in price. That doesn't mean you can't have $1 million. You can, but usually they're $400,000 or $500,000. So that's where we're blessed, I think, because
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
'Cause I know you're ready for the next level. It's time to get on the floor. 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 It's time to get on the
way to go from the low end as high as you want to go.
Wow. Yeah, and I imagine there's probably different mentalities with both. Talk about kind of like the range of the properties that you're selling.
You want to start, Denise?
Okay, well, let's see, we have up in the Jacksonville or St. Augustine, I always get them confused, but we have vacant land up there and we're selling it for like $25,000. And then you come further south and we have a property on the West Coast that we're selling. And it's a scenario, it's a fixer upper, and that's like in the $700,000 range. And then we just got a couple of other properties that are REOs, but now we were talking to someone the other day that has a $2.2 million home that wants us to help him sell. So we really have a range of properties, which also I think most agents have been doing this a long time, find this exciting because for the most part, our job every day is to look for new clients. If they're not calling us, to look for new clients. And then when you have a variety of properties to sell, it makes your day more interesting. There's, you're always on the go. You're always, oh, I got to do this, got to do that. So I think it's for us, we're never bored.
Right.
And we always have something to do. I think Joel just had to do an inspection the other day. It was had to get the sheriff involved, and there was a little fire that he had.
Yeah. So the REO market had died off quite a bit. We are starting to see it come back a little bit. It's not going to be like anything like it was in 2010, 2011. This pool of loans a hedge fund had purchased was called reverse mortgages, where if those that don't know, senior citizen would take out a loan that they don't repay, and then when they pass away, the bank either takes it back, or if there's enough equity, the family can resell it or refinance the property. This was a property, had a squatter there. He'd been living there, and we got the writ of possession, which is the court order to take over the property. And the next day, it caught fire. Incidents, I mean, who knows, but we had luckily fire department got there, put the fire out right away, but now we have to assess it, see what kind of damage it has, and kind of go from there. As far as the gamut, anybody looking to get an REO right now, it's very tight. I'd still focus more on retail sales. It's usually higher commission, higher price points. And not that they're both good, right? But if you can help a family get into a home, first time buyer, stuff like that, it really makes you satisfied that you help someone accomplish their dream.
Yeah, I imagine that's one of the most gratifying parts of the job is really helping people in their next stage of life.
Yeah.
Definitely. Whether it's downsizing or getting their first home.
Mm-hmm.
I would say those people you really develop a very special relationship with too, because you're there for their very first home. This is their dream. Everyone dreams to have their first home, white picket fence. And that relationship just goes on for years.
Yeah.
It's very special.
That's amazing. And I understand what makes you two very special is you're very good at pricing. I would love to hear more about your strategy with pricing.
So basically, it's years of experience. That one thing with the REO business, we do what's called broker price opinion, very similar to an appraisal. And you learn how to do what's called adjustments based on square footage, or, you have a 4-bedroom home with a pool, and maybe your comparable doesn't have a pool, so you make an adjustment for that pool. Where prior to the foreclosure business, we'd kind of look at a neighborhood, look at comps.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And unless you were actually trained on it, you never thought of really making adjustments. You're like, well, most of the homes are selling for 500. This one's going to be 500. You'll see agents just throw the house up on the market and then later come back to the seller and say, well, I guess the market's changed. We're not getting the price we thought we would. So knowing how to make adjustments, if as a new agent or an older agent, if you haven't gone through some type of course like that, I think it really helps, especially what we're going through now, right? A market shift where we are seeing price adjustments. So if you can get it priced right from the beginning, you're actually going to net the seller more money because it's sold quicker and you're not doing what we call chase the market.
Right.
It's hard to get a seller to believe that sometimes, right? Because they don't want to. Who's going to pay more than what you're asking? They're always going to beat you up on price. But if you can learn how to deliver that to the seller and educate them on where the market's going, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, I imagine it's very important to partner with a realtor that just really understands the market, because I think there's a lot of information being sprung out at people where they're very confused about what the market actually looks like.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Kristen, it's frustrating for us sometimes. I mean, Joel and I really, since we know we're good at pricing, we'll go in. We might say to the seller, okay, you can put it up a little just to test the waters, but this is where we should be. And we've lost a few listings because other agents go in, and if they say, oh, I can sell your home for $50,000 more or whatever than what we had shown them, and then it's frustrating for us. So we watch that listing because we don't like to lose. We're very competitive. We don't like to lose. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, that darn property sold for exactly what we said. And we could have had it sold months earlier, but people want to believe their home is worth more than it is. So that's another part that sometimes is frustrating for us.
Totally. And I mean, it's important for you guys to stand your ground in your business and, not compromise so much on pricing that you're compromising what you actually believe the house will sell for.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Well, you're not doing anyone a favor, right? If you put a lot of coaches used to say called buy the listing. Agent will come in, promise a high listing price, high sales price to get the listing. And then, you tie them up 6 months or a 1-year listing agreement and you're beating them up on the price. Well, I guess the market's changed or I guess this happened. Doesn't do them benefit or really the agent,
Definitely. Well, I'd love to hear from you guys just some lessons you've learned being in the industry and having so much success. What's something that you thought or you wish you learned earlier on in your career?
This one's a
Denise,
silly. Here's a silly one. To have a real good database app so that when we put our names, addresses, phone numbers, they never get mixed up. That's one of my pet peeves right now. We've been working together maybe 8 years, and we've both been working, almost 25 years, and I get crazy. So I would have loved that. I think we both know to stay in touch with our database. So we've been really good about doing that. The other thing is, I know Joel and I, when we have little hiccups, we say to ourselves, we have to remember this. Like we just had one where the seller asked for a net sheet. Joel's really good with numbers, so I always ask, Joel, will you do the net sheet on this? And he goes, sure. Put the net sheet down, gave him the payoff for the mortgage that I was told, put it in, great, sent it to the seller. Thank you so much. Everything looks great. I think he did 3 more net sheets for the seller. At the end of the day, the seller never looked at her payoff to make sure it was what she said. It was wrong, and it came back on us. And we're like, this is the number you gave us, but we didn't have anything in writing. It was verbal. So we both said, now we're not doing that. From now on, we'll do a net sheet. This is the different expenses you can expect, minus your payoff for your loan. Look at your payoff, and then you can do it, because it comes back on us, and we worked so hard on that property, and that was definitely a new lesson for us.
Yeah, no, I think that's very practical advice. I think it's very important.
There was more. I can't think of another one. I'm sure Joel's got, we've recently
right.
had a couple that we go, let's not do that again.
I think the biggest thing is any agent is the sooner you start working on your database, keeping it organized and staying in touch with them, the better off you're going to be. As new agents, you got to prospect, you got to look for that business. But then if you can start working on building that referral business, it's going to make a huge difference for you down the road.
Absolutely. Yeah, I imagine building up a referral business, it's challenging. That's one of the hardest parts, is really growing your network.
Definitely. If you can, in the beginning, I used to do what's called BNI, which is Business Networking Institute. And we have a weekly meeting with plumbers, electricians, attorneys. So if you can do anything like that, Chamber of Commerce in the beginning, that really helps. Get your foot in the door, and just keep it. Once you build that database, keep it going. You got to keep feeding it. And constantly make contact. Don't just put them in there and forget about them. Right? You got to call them up. Maybe some invites. People call it pop-bys. You pop by with a little gift, but just staying in touch and being able, they're a go-to person, right? Even if you're not doing mortgages, maybe their rates drop. You want to refer them to your preferred lender. Hey, listen, I know you're not thinking about selling. Rates just dropped. Maybe you can get a refinance and save on your monthly payment, stuff like that.
Amazing. Well, I think this is really good advice, really practical advice for somebody starting out for sure. So tell everybody where to find you and how to work with you.
Go, Joel.
So we both have similar emails. It's our first name at our full name.com. So I'm Joel at joelfreis.com. Denise is Denise at denisemadan.com. My last name's Freis, so Joel Freis. If you Google either one of our names, you're going to see us all over the internet.
Amazing.
You'll be able to find us that way.
And
Well,
we
it was
have a team.
Yeah.
Kristen, we have our team name is the All Florida Home Team. So if they find All Florida Home Team, they'll be able to find us as well.
Exactly.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really encourage everyone to check out Denise and Joel. They look like, you guys seem like you're doing such great business and such a variety of different properties. I think people could really benefit from reaching out to you. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate you having us on.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. And
It's
thank you
great.
everybody for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.